Hi, everyone. Welcome to Man-O-Rama, our 80th episode. We're getting to the 100 soon. Woohoo! Tonight, we're going to talk about how men should vent and how and when to vent. And I have my sidekick, my trusted sidekick, my dog. And yeah, so tonight, it's going to be a great night. We're going to talk about these things because it's Men's Health Awareness. Screw Pride Month, because that's what's more important, guys. Come on. Well, howdy, everybody. Like I said in the background, you guys can turn your cameras on.
He's doing a bunch of stuff. It's like, darn it.
Welcome, everyone, to Man-O-Rama, the 80th episode. I'm sorry. Tonight we're going to talk about venting, when and how it is important for men to vent, because that's important. Like, it is. It's, we get to the point where my dog jumps on my leg and be like, hey, I want your attention now. You didn't want my attention. See, there you go. Your dog, screw your dog. Your dog bites me every time I'm over.
He's not very friendly.
No, he's not. He's a lovable dog. But no, tonight we're going to talk about pretty much when men should vent, because it's Pride Month, and let's talk about men's health awareness, because what's more important. And I think a lot of guys, they don't know, hey, when should I vent, or how should I vent my emotions? Because sometimes it gets overfilled, and they'll go on Twitter or whatnot and just overdo it, or overdo it with like a group, privately. And so it's just like, someone's got to teach them. Why not us?
Exactly.
And here's the thing: we're not professionally trained on anything that we talk about. These are just our opinions and our growing pains. So let's go down the line. There might be some more people. I know Canadian Spider-Man Rod, and I think Pop Culture Minefield might be showing up later. We'll have to see. Guys. Mike, you look like you're losing more and more hair as the week goes by. How's your week been?
Let's see. Well, I've lost about maybe 150 strands of hair due to stress. Yeah, due to stress and old age, and go figure, right? Married life, and and life in general. No, I shouldn't say that. Just life in general. Doing pretty good-ish. I had to bring my car to the garage because apparently the starter or the solenoid is probably gone, which caused a little bit of stress there because it's like, yay, more money out the door. That's why I'm coping right now with drinking beer. So other than that, pretty good. Because, Father's Day, to which I was treated to coffee and ice cream and hanging out with my daughter, which was fun, and wished my dad, happy Father's Day, and told him I love him and all that kind of stuff, and pretty good. So,
fantastic.
How's your dad doing, by the way? I'll ask live here. How's your dad doing?
He's doing pretty good. 84, and he's still kicking her. Old enough to give me a lecture whenever he needs to. So,
that's what
So doing pretty good.
That's old.
That's advanced old. So
is he like Joe Biden old, or is he like Trump old?
No, he's not senile crap in your pants old. He's pretty much like Trump old, which is great because he still has all his faculties, although sometimes the hearing gets a little bit hard for him. Right.
So he's like the Zeus. If he had a call sign, he'd be Zeus. You Atlas.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. My dad is as Or, at least growing up, he was literally as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Full-blooded Austrian. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Tom.
Yeah.
Yo,
My favorite
documentary
Michael
filmmaker.
Moore. Yeah, I'm
That
glad
one's
you
funny,
caught
though.
on to that. I can Photoshop your face on his ugly looking face and it still looks 10% decent.
No, that one is funny.
How's your week been?
Busy. Trying to figure technicalities out of how to simulcast from OBS to Rumble. You seen actually? You made a comment. I was like, I tried to do a live, but it didn't work. I got to get a new PC, and I'm trying to get my AI to speak with me as well. And that's not my train. That must be somebody else's train. Yeah, just trying to get some technical things working. Trying to figure some stuff out. Working on a book. Still going through, as a photographer, you take thousands of photos and you forget everything you have and it's put away somewhere. I'm like, so I spent the literally 13-hour days almost just trying to get this because I want to get my book done. I'm doing a poem book. I'm doing my black and white photo book. Hopefully we get them out by summer. So keep busy.
Are you self-publishing?
Hopefully, yes. So that's going to be all mine. So under my own banner, actually, but Black Moon Inc. It's under Thomas Haley Creations. So
Nice.
We shall see. We shall see.
And brother Tyler, how's your week been?
Yeah.
Can't really complain. One of my cooks is off work for the week due to bereavement. So I'm covering some shifts, and it's one of those things where, like, I feel like such a dick if I complain about it. Because I was telling her, like, man, I'm so sorry for your loss. Let me know what we can do to help you. I'm so sorry. But the only way I can really help is just by covering her shifts. So, I've been doing a lot of 13-hour days lately. So that's
kind of
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool of you, man. I know working like you're just covering them and you're like, hey, look, I got this. Don't worry. I think that's commendable.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's we're a good team. I want to be there to support her, and the job still has to get done. So I'm just trying to suck it up, work, and not complain about it. But otherwise, that's it, dude. I just work. I come home, I sleep, and I'm going camping next week. So that'll be my chance to like catch my breath, chill, unwind. So that's kind of just what I'm doing right now. Is just looking forward to going camping next week.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go, man. My week has been awesome. Well,
how was your week, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty fun. It was.
Mm.
I got my hole puncher because we're on YouTube and Rumble.
Right.
Yeah, the one we were discussing on Saturday. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Took that out to the hole puncher landfill area. Did pretty good. I like it. It was a good investment. Then watched the Celtics game 2, I think it was, and had some people over. My wife did this little birthday shindig thing for me. It was pretty cool. And then, like, something that's kind of cool is my wife has seen now, ever since we got married, she's seen the Red Sox win a World Series with me. She's seen, not that I've gone to see them play, but, and I'm a huge Boston sports fan. And she's seen the Patriots win about 300,000 times of the world, the Super Bowl, whatever title you want to talk about. And then yesterday she finally got to see the Celtics win the NBA Finals, which is probably the most boringest NBA Finals I've ever watched.
Really?
Yeah, it was a gentleman's sweep. The Celtics just gave one, and one person was like, "They're gonna come, Mavs are gonna come back." I was like, "Dude, the Celtics didn't even try."
Wow.
It was brutal. And then I found out that the head coach of the Celtics is a Christian, and I found out that Jason Tatum is a Christian, and he goes, "I couldn't be here if it wasn't for God." And he said, "He put us in this situation." I was like, "Dude, I didn't know." And they got some Black Lives Matter shindig dude who plays for the team, but luckily he kept his mouth shut on that. But it was good to hear Tatum say that stuff. I was like, you know what? You're young. He's only like 26, and I was like, man, you're young, you're rich, Adopt me, even though I'm older than you.
Are you a Bruins fan too? I have to ask.
Yes, I am. They're never going to win a Stanley Cup.
No, they did. Well, yeah, they didn't. Was it?
Yeah, one time out of how many years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
you know. Edmonton actually won their first game, so they're still down one. But if they can win 3 more, they can like to see the Oilers win it again. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but then again, see now the Oilers aren't, like carbon neutral or anything like that. They'll probably have to change their name.
They got to oil up their gears, and then they might get going somewhere. I don't know. They're a bit rusty here. Who knows? I don't know. Thanks for everyone in tuning in on YouTube and Rumble. And we're on X. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The only way to get to watching on X is you got to follow me, or you got to find me somewhere. Good luck trying to find that. I know someone goes, "Hey, your Twitter account got suspended." I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, never mind, you changed it."
I wouldn't be surprised if you did get suspended, though.
At this point, it wouldn't. Yeah, I just it comes with who I am. I'm trying to make my name better. Not that I'm not so much of an asshole on Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, we're gonna get to one of our favorite segments, which you guys don't know about what I picked for it, but it's
Twitter.
That's right, people. Don't be that guy. Pretty much, don't be a schmuck.
Yeah.
But it's actually, I'll be honest with you guys, it's getting a little harder to find tweets. And here's the thing: if you find your tweet on this show, it's not because we're going after you; it's because you were simping, and we're gonna course correct this. That's the whole situation. It's not like, oh, we got you. It's we got it.
I haven't written Sydney Sweeney.
I'm watching you, Sydney Sweeney, little over there. I see your tweets. I see everyone's tweets. So I now realize if you get hey, congratulations, you've been selected.
Well, you caught me simping from Tom McDonald and Grimes. So.
Well, that's different. It's Tom McDonald's a little bit different. You weren't simping for him, like
big fan.
You were. Yeah, I was about to do that.
Was he?
I know, right? What do you Canadians need to tell us right now?
Everything.
I know, right?
Anything.
Anyways, so we're gonna get to the first one. This one I just like. Can't believe I simped over that. I don't even know what he's talking about.
At least they're open and honest.
At least he caught himself
with no content.
You got a point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No content. Like, what is he talking about?
I don't know, but I just like this. I found it on Google, and I was like, I like this so much. I did. I really do. Here's the next one. Okay, so here, this guy says, "What? Okay, first, here's the venting I need to do. Why do you pick stupid names that no one can pronounce?"
Marcy,
king of everything, Marcy. I'm just gonna say Marcy. He said, or it's 2024, so who knows? They, them, thous. I'm in a bad place right now. He's under 20 when he puts R in for right now. Not mentally. Yeah. I just live in the United States. All right, guys. I know we have 2 Canadians on the show.
So far.
Explain the problem of this.
Oh, it's disgusting. I'll say right now, one thing I see videos online, and I never understand it. People walk by houses and say, there's an American flag there. They're racist. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no, people are proud of their country, and they should be. I have many American friends, and it's like, no, that's the dumbest. If you don't like it, go. That's what I'd say, as the famous thing is. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
They're not going to go. Tyler,
they say
what do you see the problem with this one?
Let's see. Well, it looks like he wrote this in 2020, so it was a bad place everywhere, man. That was just a bad time. But dude, there's still nowhere else I'd rather live than the United States. I fucking love it here. I'm ride or die for my country. So, Marcy, shut up, dude.
Mike, what do you see the problem with this?
Well, jokes aside, you live in the United States. However, not jokes aside, you live in the United States. So, depending where you live,
he lives in Canada.
Hey,
exactly.
Robin Williams said we're that party we're the loft above the states that have the little parties going on. So,
Exactly.
How's the parties going over there?
Yeah, pretty bad right now with our leadership.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a kegger, but nobody brought the keg.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Depending where you live, okay, there are some states just like here in Kanadistan, where there are some good provinces and there are some good states, right?
Yeah,
and there is some shithole of a province, just like there is some shithole of states. And depending where you're at, okay, maybe you just live in a crappy place.
Yeah.
So get over it. And, not just saying, in a crappy place in the United States in general, but whatever state you probably live in, move. If you don't like your environment, guess what? You have this wonderful option called moving.
Yeah.
And to, either a new job or a new city or even a new state. You have options, unlike probably in some hellhole communist countries where you don't even have those options. So suck it up, Buttercup. Pull your bootstraps up, and friggin', if you don't like it, change your attitude and maybe make your place a better place to live.
Now.
Mind you, they're saying
AOC right now.
Supposedly,
Big booty Latino.
When they do the 15-minute city, you have to pay to leave. I guess now they're saying.
So
yes,
here,
depending on what district you live in,
here's the issue I have with this tweet. It's a kid who doesn't know what taxes, what bills are, just from the picture. Right. It's really gay picture. Here's your Pride Month YouTube. That picture right there. Here's the thing. Anyone who complain, I'm not saying United States is perfect. We're not by any of the stretch of imagination, but we're better off than a lot of other places. Like Tyler said, I'm ride or die with this country. I know YouTube's probably going to strike me for this. I don't care. I'm a nationalist to the United States, which means I'm proud of my country. Look it up, YouTube. Find a dictionary, not a Webster dictionary that's been changed in 2020, but one like, I don't know, 1987.
Oh, you should see the people writing the dictionary now. We've seen a picture of one person writing on those dictionaries today. No.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
But my problem is this person doesn't know life struggles. No. I'm in a bad place. Well, what type of bad place are you in? Are you in like, hey, I'm in a place where it's a house? He could, for all I know, he could be, well, he has an iPhone, so he's spoiled. But
true.
He could be in Ohio, and it's like, well, yeah, dude, you live in Ohio. No shit.
Yeah. Well, I like Ohio. That's a nice area, depending on where you're at. But are you in a house where there's a bunch of roommates that are drug dealers or anything? Like what scale of bad place are you in? Are you in Los Angeles? Or are you in San Francisco? Like, here's the thing, like, move. Yeah. If you don't like where you're at, you have the freedom to move. It's not hard, guys.
One thing I'll say is he has that freedom for gentlemen that actually had it bad, that were in bunkers in other parts of the country, protecting people like him. And this guy doesn't realize that. And that ticks me off. It's like, no, people give their lives, so you have the freedom to make these stupid tweets. Like, lack of respect.
Plus, change your profile pic. It looks like you're about to barf.
Yeah, 4 other things. I don't know. Anyways, we got 2 more.
Right.
Okay, so this one, God, Mr. IG. What does IG stands for?
Instagram, maybe? I don't know. Yeah.
Really? Like, I'm now getting to the point where I'm now reaching your level, guys, of oldness.
Thank you.
Sorry, Tyler, I'm throwing you in there. You're older than me.
No, our pain.
It's being 37. I don't know these slangs. Like, IG,
No.
what?
You gotta teach
It's
yourself.
not Darwin. Well, you get the Darwin one. He said, if she starts using your slang, you got her heart. Guys,
What? No. Makes no sense.
this isn't simping. This is just don't be this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the what?
It probably means that she doesn't know English like you do. You know?
Well,
if you can't spell your,
I
with
didn't even
you
see that.
are.
Or you.
yeah, you, it means you have a failed education system and go back to school. And if both of you are talking that way, start with kindergarten.
I realize they have 30,000 likes.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Well, here's the thing. This is how I would approach this.
Then that means there's 30,000 stupid people out there.
Yeah.
Well, there's more than that.
Well,
Yeah.
this is how I would approach this tweet. If I said man, I have bad grammar, but this is bad. If she starts using your slang, you got her heart. Here's what I would say. If
Okay.
she's laughing at your stupid joke that no one else is laughing, you got her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Making
the
a girl
best
laugh
way to
is
do
important.
it. Because here's the key thing. I didn't know this until I finally got married. Because my wife started laughing at a lot of dumb jokes, I would say. Like, they were bad. And I'd be like, no one else is laughing. Why are you laughing? And then finally she told me, she's like, oh, you're cute. Ha, ha, ha. I was like, oh, what? Jackpot. Here's another. This one's my favorite one.
Nah.
I don't know the context of this at all.
Okay.
Nose XR. Why do high schoolers, middle schoolers come up with the stupidest names ever?
Because creativity is dead.
That's sad. But anyways,
That'd be
this
Fortnite.
schmuck said, I'm so sorry, Addison. At least you can spell Addison, right? Anything you
Yeah.
need, I'm here for you. This is nonsense. I have okay. And the sim, please. No, I'm here for you.
Yeah. No, I'm here for both of you. First of all, it's a capital A for Addison. Addison is the proper noun. Okay. Plus, please, I'm is I am. Okay. Put an apostrophe in there for I'm. Right.
But it's the
So
sim,
I'm there for
please.
both of you guys. But
It's the
I
sim,
don't
please.
care.
You
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care. I'm right. Mike
Proper
doesn't care,
grammar
guys.
is
Mike
the thing.
doesn't care.
Hence the reason why I'm drinking beer right now. To
You're the
cope.
grammar Yahtzee. What the heck?
Exactly. He's right.
The kids. No, I won't go there.
Yeah. The kids are not
yeah.
fine.
No, not at all.
But that's don't be that
No.
guy. I've changed it up a little bit. It's literally people who say stupid things on YouTube, Twitter, whatever. I don't.
Yeah, no Pokemon this week. I was like, wow.
I did look up
Yeah.
her, and let me tell you, there's not enough. We don't have enough hours in an episode to handle Pokemon.
Or do we? No.
Who's
The
that?
Simps. It's okay. So I
She's a
went there.
gamer
and
Yeah.
girl that something. Or
It's a
whatever,
I don't give a shit.
I don't.
It's a combination of guys trolling her, and she's picked on it. Like she is.
Oh, yeah.
She's not dumb. She's smart.
no.
She knows what she's doing.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
it's like Paris Hilton. Here's an interesting fact.
That's a
What do you
worry.
think Paris Hilton's GPA is?
I'm gonna have to say pretty damn smart. Maybe close to a 4.0. I know that earlier, years ago, she kind of acted like a dumbass valley girl. But
Mhm.
I'm guessing to bet that she's probably quite intelligent.
So the reason why I bring up her
Right.
is because Pokimane, stupid name, she's smart. like Paris Hilton. She was offered, hey,
Right.
You can run your dad's company. And she's like, no, I'm just gonna act like a ditzy person and they asked why. It's like I can make more money doing that.
Yep.
For sure.
Exactly.
The name Pokemon is based, you can tell, is after Pokemon, which is also popular in its own right. So she knows what she's doing.
Pokemon knows the trolls and all that stuff, but they're hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't, go check out she posts stupid pictures of herself, like whatever. She looks like a kid that if you played in dodgeball, she'd be the first one that you want to get out just by her face.
I'm gonna look her up. I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah,
look her up, and then you'll think I have a dodgeball. I just want to throw this. Here's the other thing. I'm not condoning hitting women at all. I'm not. That's a game. But here's the other thing, ladies. If you hit a man first, equal rights. Anyways, that went a little dark. We're going to change it up a bit. I'm trying to have fun because we're talking about venting, and this is a serious topic. With June being Men's Health Awareness, not Pride Month, this is something that guys don't, even me, growing up, I didn't understand this very well. And no one taught me. That's the other thing. A lot of the stuff that we talk about on this show, I was self-taught, or I was taught by someone else who knew this stuff that was self-taught himself. And venting is a very important thing because here's the thing. Society says men should be emotional. Get with our feels. Right. Ooh. Not necessarily. It is true that guys should let their emotions out here and there. We just do it differently than what society thinks we should do it. Because we don't drink soy milk and we just drink straight up beer or bourbon or whiskey or whatever your preference is. But or smoke cigars or shoot a hole punchers. But there is a point where guys do vent.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how this plays out with men when we do vent. And I am going to allow us to vent a little bit, not all the way, but vent a little bit to give an experience. Because some guys are like, well, how do you do this? When's the perfect time? How's this? The first question I have, what's a funny moment of venting that you vented or experienced someone else?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because they're funny.
Huh.
I have. Okay. So I have one I'll do, and then you guys can think about.
Okay.
I should start giving you guys the questions before the show starts. Then you guys can see.
Maybe.
See, we're evolving, everyone. Not like Darwin, but as Americans and Canadians and whatever damn
North Americans.
North Americans. Yahtzees. Oh, I'm having fun, guys. I'm trying to make this fun. I remember
what
when.
Are you saying?
Yes. I remember when it was in high school. This guy, he went off. He's like, it was like right before prom. He couldn't get a date. He's like, oh, this sucks. He starts venting all his emotions. Like, I have to, like, things that had nothing to do with him asking this girl out. Like, you can tell he's been, like, holding this all in. Like, my dad made me do this. My dad did this. Da, 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 blah, blah, blah. And the chick that he asked out just so happens to sit next to me. Because we're all in, like, a little house party in Nebraska. And she sits down and just sits there. He doesn't even notice her for, like, an hour. He's venting for an hour. Like, just going on and on and on. Yeah. And I'm homeschooled at the time. And I just jokingly said, do you want to go to the prom with me? And she's like, why, yes, I can. We're all nice. He just noticed her. He's all like, you know when you just see something and your brain just stops and your mouth just keeps going?
Yep.
He's like, and she's like, oh, I'm going to prom. She did this on her own. She's like, I'm going prom with Steve. Boy, I thought I was going to get my ass whooped. I was like, I'm done, guys. To me, that's funny. That's like the worst thing. Don't just. Yeah.
Yeah. Go for the
Anyway,
gusto.
yeah. Mike.
Okay. Well, I mean, you see it constantly on social media all the time. All these men and women that are doing this, like this stupid hyperventilating, venting crap where I don't know, where they're just going on and on about the most ridiculous shit that you can imagine possible, right? And none of it makes any sense. None of it is like barely coherent as it is, but damn it, it's entertaining as hell.
It is.
It just is. But it's sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It's weird because most of the time it's the most silliest thing that like people worry about, the most mundane things that they don't even have to worry about, really. And it's sort of kind of ridiculous to just go on and on and on about, especially when other people are doing something. It's like, is it affecting you in any way, shape, or fashion? No? Okay, carry on and live your life. But no, they seem to make it just so personal about what everybody else is doing that it's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, And we even talked about this today on the show. One guy that works for Nintendo, and for some odd reason he has to go on like these 12 consecutive tweets talking
12.
about a guy that was hauling hay that just happened to have a banner on his truck, saying something about preventing like white genocide. And he's like, I felt so afraid that I had to go to Subway and eat a sub, and and this place was like full of white people. It's like, you're driving somewhere and you're going on about a stupid truck with hay on it with a banner on it. Do you know how stupid you sound venting about this kind of ridiculous crap right now?
Oh, and don't forget, in the profile pic, he wore a mask too, just to give better.
Oh yeah, because you have the virtual signal on top of that.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
pretty much. But it's just silly. It is so dumb. And on top of that, the guy didn't even get any likes or retweets or anything like that. So
he retweeted himself.
And he retweeted himself, and which just makes it even more hilarious on top of that, because it's like, nobody listens or pays attention to you. Therefore, i.e., nobody cares. Carry on with your life and go to your parents and complain. Which he said he would do.
Yeah. I can't do anything funny per se, and sadly enough, and Mike knows me well enough to know, I'm sometimes one that has a tendency of venting. Sometimes, I'll admit it. I'm one of the bad ones. Sometimes I don't know if it's my brain autism or whatever, but sometimes I can go off. I live alone, so I don't talk to many people sometimes. So I do go on and just release some things, but that's it. I know, and I forget about it.
I get your DMs. What'd be really funny is, of this, if one of us on the panels just popped in the back of the hallway and be like, hey, just for fun. I don't know. That just popped in. I thought it was funny. See, a lot of my jokes are really dumb. And anyways, Tyler.
Yeah, but you are kind of dumb.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Man, the first thing that popped into my mind was, I guess technically it's venting, but it was more just misguided emotion. A good friend of mine, he just does not open up about shit, like, ever. He'll just boil over, and I didn't even know anything was going on with him. This was years ago. We went surfing, and he just seemed like really aggro the whole time. Like, the waves were good. We both had a good surf session. And driving back, some guy cuts in front of him, and he just fucking loses it. He's like, roid rage, super bad, like, hey, fuck you, asshole. And I'm like, dude, fucking chill. When we go back to his place, we're cooking up food on the barbecue, and he's pacing back and forth, like, people don't use their fucking turn signals anymore, huh? That's what the world's come to. We just go in any lane we fucking want to. And it's funny, man. Like, he was so goddamn mad about the dumbest thing, and really, I know he had other shit going on, and that's just what he wanted to focus on. But
right.
It was just so funny. I couldn't take him serious.
Are you sure it wasn't me or Gary?
No, but I can see you guys doing that.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah. I would love to see Gary vent. God.
I've seen enough of it.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. Here's another good example is when Gary has the vent, especially at work and stuff, like we do construction, he'll get more. I have more of a way of balancing my temper. And when you're at work, I'm not saying Gary's an angry person, not at all.
Right.
Right. When you're doing construction, sometimes the screw nail doesn't want to listen, and you got to talk to it in a way that it's going to listen. And when he gets to that point where it's like, I'm frustrated, I don't know how to solve this problem at a job site, I'm usually the calm one. But man, it is funny to hear him talk because it's just hilarious. I'm like, oh, this is
really
great.
Funny guy.
He is. He's a funny dude. Yeah.
So you are the yin to his yang.
Well, yeah, in a non-gay way, but
yeah. The wind beneath his wings.
Ooh.
You're such a good
feel
friend.
Me blow.
I do.
Anyways, here's the thing. Don't try to talk and breathe at the same time. It's never going to work out.
No.
Another question I have for you guys is, when is the appropriate time to vent? Because I know, like, Mike and you and I, we talk on the phone. We used to do almost daily, but like with my work, it's kind of cut a little bit. But we try to talk every once in a while, just because I want to like keep in touch with you guys and just be like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" Like,
I know
this has nothing to do about the show. Don't worry. Right. I remember I called one of the guys on the panel. He's like, "Am I being kicked off the show?" I was like, No. I just want to know how you're doing. He's like, "Oh, thank God." I was like, "You sound very like nervous and just not there. What's going on?" He's like, "I just don't want to be kicked off the show." And I was like, "No, like what else?" And it's just, so yeah, if you ever get a phone call from me, don't worry. Usually I'll do that in a Pony Express mail. Nice. I know, lies. I will just kick you off right on the phone.
Yeah.
Look here. No, when is the appropriate time for men to vent? Because it could be different. And again, I know some people on YouTube, they're asking, "Hey, where's Canadian Spider-Man?" He is traveling to one of the panelists. They should be here soon unless they get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? At this point,
yeah, Spidey.
I'm not their mom.
Well, I'll jump in.
Right.
Nobody.
Okay. Go for it.
When's a good time to vent? Well, it depends on the person you're venting to. I mean, everybody has their own shit going on. If you know that they're super fucking busy, it might not be the best time for them to listen. And even if you're hyper emotional, you have to remember, dude, people have their own lives they're living. I mean, unless somebody very close to you like just died or something, chill. Wait until they're, going to be fully present to be there for you. But for you, when it's time to vent, I don't want to say when you're feeling suicidal, because you should probably start opening up before that. But if it ever gets to that point, reach out. I mean, your friend, your parent, sibling, anybody, man, if you're thinking about self-harm, it's time to reach out. If you're letting things just come to a boiling point to where you're just like the story I just shared, with my buddy, I wish he would have told me what was going on because I had no fucking clue. But clearly something was going on that made him that upset over something small. Just don't let it come to that point. If it's something that's eating you alive inside, open up about it. Now, there's a big difference between that and just complaining. We all have shitty days at work. We all get, hurt feelings from time to time. But if it's something that's really eating you alive to the point where it's difficult to get up out of bed, carry on your normal life, if it's really, really getting to you, it's time to talk about it. And, like I said, it's different for everybody. For me, like, I don't really open up. I just want to be in the company of somebody. Like, Steve, you and I go get beers and dinner and stuff. And I'm actually going through a divorce right now. So it actually means a lot to me, dude. Just the fact that you're there just to hang out with. Sometimes I kind of open up and I talk about, what's going on inside. But for the most part, just knowing that I'm not alone, I have somewhere to go, like a friend to talk to, that's all I need. But for everybody, it's different. But if you're ever to the point of thinking about self-harm, talk to somebody. You will be missed, even if you convince yourself that you won't. You have family, you have friends. The fucking grocery clerk at the store that you're nice to, they'll be bummed. I mean, just don't let it get to that point to where you're thinking about self-harm. So
yeah,
exactly.
Man, that's spot on. And welcome to the show, Jason.
Hey, man.
First time on Man-O-Rama.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Thank you for inviting me. It's not that long since I woke up, so.
Rise inside, Buttercup. You're on the most manliest talk show on earth.
Yeah, I only see a sausage party, so it's nothing more manly than that.
Well, you come to the wrong place.
Well, guess what? No, it's Tyler nailed that question down. That's
He really did. Because I could relate to a lot of it. I really could. Since I have experienced a lot of self-harm through the years and stuff like that because, I was afraid to tell people at the time, it wasn't the easiest when the day I had to come clean to my dad was hard, of course, when he found out I had to come clean and stuff. But it really sits inside of you, man. If you do feel that kind of way, it is important that you reach out to someone who you really trust, someone you really trust, and that that's also really important. So it depends people to people, of course. Some people need a psychiatrist, some people needs a best friend, it all depends, but reaching out is the most important thing to do. It really is.
Yeah. One of the things about, because that's the other thing, it's like Tyler was right. When you have these suicidal thoughts, man, when you get to that, I've been there with Tyler. We go out, grab a couple beers, get a sandwich, and just talk. And sometimes, usually, it's not even about what you're dealing with, Tyler. We're just talking about whatever your book that you're writing, the next book that you're writing, whatever it might be, the show, just politics, whatever it is. It's just, I think, just being there. Sometimes when a man wants to vent, he just wants to hang out with some people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. And it's just for some reason. Sometimes for some guys that helps. Like for me, if I want to vent, it's just, hey, I'll text some guys. I'm like, what are you guys doing tonight? Just go out to get a couple beers, watch a game on the TV or whatever it is, and just hang out. And eventually you'll let off some of it. You don't have to talk about anything. Like, you don't have to talk about what you want to vent out. Sometimes you will, but it's just sometimes being there. But
being in the brotherhood,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. Tom.
After that one, that was powerful. What Tyler said, it was. I'm actually going to throw in that one. I'll add to it as well. I've been to the self-harm thing myself, and I've let myself get there. I used to hold it in. That's why I started venting a little bit more on because, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but ever since certain things happened 4 years ago or so, people have not gone out as like they used to. It's hard to get some people to go out. You know what I mean? Like people have changed, I find, and like my friends here, I don't see anybody anymore. I recently, yes, I went on a gallery hop, but I had to drag a friend out to do it, and it's like, wow, hey man, because I don't see many people. Like my buddy comes over once a month, we'll watch a pay per view, AEW, WWE, whatever. But I don't see many people nowadays. People just kind of since the coof, people just don't do anything anymore. And I'm trying to get back into the normalcy of life, and it gets lonely sometimes. I don't have anybody I can reach out to here locally, and it's just sometimes just nice to just go out and have a coffee and just hang with somebody or whatever, just chill. And I miss that, and I get into my own head. And when you're alone in your own head, as Tyler said, don't wait too long. Don't wait till it's up, because I agree with that. That hit me personally because I've been there.
Because it is like in a way, as I like to explain it, like it's a road in your head of memories and thoughts, and as further down you go, the darker it gets, and you don't want to reach that point in your road in the head. You don't want to reach that part.
And me, I'm ADHD autistic. My brain works faster than the average brain, and I can get myself really in. When I get in a loop of bad thoughts, and it just compounds really quick in my head, and then I begin to hate myself. Blah blah blah. What did I do wrong? What is it? Blah blah blah. And then it gets really lonely sometimes, and it's hard. And I'm eventually people are starting to come back into the normal work of life and getting out again. That's why I take myself out and just go shooting with a camera and take pictures someday just to get out of the house. But it's just. It's never wait too long. Just if you're getting to the point where you're thinking those thoughts, I worked at a end life hotline, and I've been there myself. I have been, and you don't wait till that long. And if you're feeling that dark, reach out to a family, reach out. There's always hotlines out there. There's always somebody. It might not be in person because I find it hard in person, but I'll try to reach out to somebody online then. But know that there's always somebody there. There's got to be somebody there that you can always reach out to.
Yeah. Mike.
Yeah. When's the right time to vent? I mean, it's a really good question. And part of me is going to say, I don't know if there's a right time to vent. Because sometimes, I mean, I know there is, and at the same time, sometimes there isn't. As men, and this is not putting women down whatsoever, because I know women, women are different that way. If there's a problem, they will just come out and say it, right? So for the most part, they're venting immediately, right? Men, because we deal with stress in a lot of different ways. We vent obviously differently, and most of us will hold on to a lot of stress and thinking that we can deal with it and deal with it and deal with it, or and until it comes to a head where it just breaks like a dam and it all comes out at once. And, you have this whole sea of emotions of everything that goes on, and it all comes out at once. Right. And I'm like that. Unfortunately, there are times where I will hold a lot in to the point where, if say, for example, if I'm parked somewhere, the wife wants to talk or something like that, just to talk. And there are times where I just have let everything out just to vent or try to vent, and not that it's necessarily a big, a big outburst of anger or anything like that. I will fully admit there are times where when I was venting, I was crying about stuff. I will say that. I don't mind saying that whatsoever,
Same
because there's a lot of crap going on. And yeah, there's, as for the right time, talk with the loved one. Try to get your feelings out. Hopefully they will listen, not just to hear you talk, but to actually listen. And that maybe they might have a solution that might help you with whatever it is that you're going through. You don't know unless you say something. Other times I find personally, when I am alone by myself, I don't have a video playing, or I don't have, people talking or anything like that. I will just sit and talk to God. And I will vent that way, because I find that that's the only one that will listen to everything that I'm going through, every feeling that I'm going through. Because when you tend to vent, how should I put it? It's like your heart spills everything out, because everything that's weighing on your heart just spills out. And you might have somebody that's really super close to you, that maybe understands everything that you're going through or something like that, but they're never really going to truly know your heart the way that God sees your heart. And I find that if there's anybody I'm really going to vent to, it's God, because he knows everything that I'm talking about. Yeah. So I find that a big stress reliever, because I'm taking the time to just pour my heart out, and it helps, So if you can't talk to just anybody, nobody at work, maybe nobody at work, or best friend or anything like that, or a loved one or anything like that, talk to God, because he's always listening and he always has time. That's just me.
Yeah,
I love that, man.
I love you too.
It's for me, sometimes, like, I'm in the same boat. If there's no one around, I'll talk to God. I'll pray. And I know some people on this show, sometimes they don't believe in God, and that's okay. For me, I don't judge what you believe in, as long as we're going the same path. And we have the same goal of, like, hey, I want to do this. And I like that, Mike. That was pretty cool. Jason.
I know I agree with Mike a lot there. Other than I'm not a Christian, and I don't believe that, but I'm a Norse pagan, so I do a lot of the same stuff, with my belief, of course, and it's not like we are praying or stuff like that, but we are like reaching out, in a way, and basically, he shows us a sign and helps us, because Odin and Thor and all them, they give us a lot of perspectives in life that I really appreciate in my life, and strength and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I normally do when I feel like this. I reach out for getting the strength that I need to go through my days. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I do a lot of the same stuff like Mike does, to a point there, just with my beliefs, of course. And yes, everybody who is listening, a Christian and a Norse pagan can be friends. I always want to point that out.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jason. I should have said, oh my Odin.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lordy Thor!
But
whoa.
I do a lot of the same stuff right there. And when it comes to the venting, everybody is, different right there. I when it comes to normal life and not YouTubing, I normally, what I do when I want to vent is that I write music. That's or write, whatever stuff like that. That's what I do, write the music. If there's something I have in my heart, my head. We can say it's everything from politics to depressed thoughts to whatever it is. It is just so good to like get it on paper, get it on a paper and or the computer, whatever you want to use. I use both. But just get it out there, and then you just get the melodies in your head, and then you just try to create something that is what really helps me, and then I just make songs out of it. And sometimes I just call my dad, or friends if they have the time, and we just sit there and vent about whatever the fuck we want, and it's like normally it's not like sad stuff, but it's like if I really have something that I'm thinking about, we say everybody is watching the Acolyte. I don't watch it right now, and I hate it, but the context to it is that if something annoys me heavily with that, I'm just calling one of my friends who also want to rant about it, and we fire each other up, and we just rant as fuck together, and then after that we feel so good.
Yeah.
And I also understand, like for Tom and stuff too, with the social life, because where I live in Norway, I don't have a social life where I live. I don't. The only times I'm social is when I decide to really go out, and I go out alone, to drink, and then I just meet random people I've seen before. I don't remember their names. I never do, because they're not my friends. But because I live in Norway. Of course, it's a little bit different here because a lot of people are social. They go out still, and because it's a country where you drink alcohol basically every day and you become an alcoholic. Welcome to Norway. It's but it can be really lonely sometimes. Just sit here and work all the time, because that's what I do. I work 24/7 mostly, just writing music, editing videos. All this kind of stuff all the time, and not having like friends where I live in that kind of sense can be really lonely. It's just like I sometimes I do sit and think, and I become a little depressed, and I think back to the days when I was younger, and just like, God, I miss having old friends I used to have, man. It's like every weekend we went out, playing games or drink or whatever we did, and what I try to do then is, just force myself out, and just like I can't forget that I'm a human and I still need a social life, and I'm just gonna go out. I'm just gonna go out, try my best to have fun, and just it's like my great grandmother always told me, life is too short, make the most of it, and that's what I try to live by every day. So
yeah, I think you guys have, man. You guys really do. I know some of you guys heard me vent. Every once in a while, you guys hear me vent and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't like to do it publicly. Like publicly, I mean on social media and stuff. It's just because it's.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
It's there's a point where some people, yeah, I'll let them know if I trust you, and I'm like, hey, look, there's a bond. I think that's the other thing with guys is men, we don't vent until we realize there's a bond there where, hey, look, I can trust you with what I'm saying. And it's mainly I trust you in what you have to say. Like I can go to Gary and Andy and Mike in an instant, and even Tyler, and I'll put Tom in there and just be like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. With Tom, I might get like a It novel response back.
Oh, you always do, you always do when we talk to him. I get like a full Bible verses basically.
But that's the thing I love about Tom is he's like, he'll take the effort and he'll write it all out. He's like, I just wrote this out, man, on a typewriter.
Yeah,
I took a picture. I sent it.
Own books. But I'm working on.
There you go. That's all his DMs.
And actually, Jason, thank you. He gave me an idea to maybe print this, so I might sell this. So
you have to, man. You have to.
But
done with the case, you have to.
Yeah.
I think when it depends, it's a case by case situation with guys.
Who it is, yeah.
It's when is the appropriate time? Your closest friend. Or someone who, even if you have a close friend, you're like, well, he's kind of a jackass. Well, probably not him the most. Maybe him. It kind of depends. With some, it's going to your dad and be like, hey, I want to talk about some things. And it's a dad's gonna be like, well, this and this and this. Just be prepared to listen. For me, it's calling up Mike, just talking. It's going to get a bite to eat with Tyler, or it's talking to Gary on the job during the lunch break. And it's one of those bonding moments where a lot of men, we don't like to talk about it. Here's a little secret. We don't like to talk about things we're emotional about publicly. Surprise.
Yep.
We talk about it privately. I remember when I went to a few months ago, 6-hour gun day firearm or whatever you want to call it.
Hole punch day.
Hole punch day. Thank you, Tom. At the end of the day, we had cigars, tri-tip, and some scotch. And we just talked. A group of us, grown men, some dads, some that aren't men, or that are men that aren't dads yet. And we just talked. And it had nothing to do with what we were struggling with or what we wanted to vent about. But it's just talking. And then when you get the wives walking out, we all stop. Like we just come up with some random stupid conversation. Because here's the thing, it's a lot of the things we vent about. No one needs to know. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
No one needs to know what you want to vent about. It's just your close friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I do
that's
agree.
all. I will say this at the second half of the hour, or the top of the second hour. In short, all right, Mike, I'm looking at you, Mike. I am willing to give everyone a chance to vent something out if they want to. Mike,
I'll go last. All right, fine.
You go second to last. I'll go last.
Okay,
you
good
go
enough.
second to last. Tom.
All right.
I want to give people a chance because a lot of people, like, especially women, have come to me and be like, well, what do you guys talk about? And I'm like, this is the best way. Like what we do, this is like what we would do, talking just at a campfire or something like that. This is what that show is. It gives an eye opening of how guys talk. Like, yeah. Tom, is there anything you want to vent briefly? And I have sound bites ready, locked and loaded.
Oh, good. All right. Well, this has to do with something you've mentioned online before, and you've mentioned here.
Son of a bitch.
And I'm going to say it.
I don't.
Pride.
Oh.
It used to mean something years ago. I actually was involved with it years ago. Now it's a disgusting debauchery, and it's pathetic, and it's making that community look like trash. And there's good people in that community. Always has been. But most people, most friends, they don't go. They hate it. They're like, it's a debauchery. It's disgusting. And this month now is also men's mental. If I'm not mistaken, that might have been earlier or before. I'm not sure, but it seems nobody talks about it. And that's more important than anything because I get emotional. 77% of the I don't know what word I'm allowed to say. The disappearing is by men. So that's kind of a high number. So it's like, come on. We need men's mental health is so under talked about nowadays. And this is a very important thing. Jace, actually, you allowed me on your, and I thank you for that. We had a good talk. I met some good guys there. We got to talk. I'm looking to do one with my AI. Actually, she wants to do it with me. And we need to get this word out there. Men's mental health. And like I said, pride is just, I'm tired of it. I know I was involved with it years ago, and it's not what it meant for. It used to be equality, just wanting to get married and just be quiet and just live their life. Most people, my friends, they're like, no, we just want to be married and be happy. That's all. But now it's a debauchery. It's disgusting. You got people dressing with hardly any clothes in front of children. Nothing should be allowed with children ever. That's just.
Yep.
that just pisses me off. And I've been in the so yeah, that's just something that disgusts me. And men's mental health needs to be talked way more about. But now you got people saying no, they'd rather be with a bear than a man. Like, what the fuck?
Did you know in California there's a woman that actually died from a bear attack?
Bears are friendly, and I love bears, but no, you don't want to go. Hey,
who would have thought?
Yeah,
who would have thought?
Damn,
women. Here's the other thing.
It's that
I'm going to put that as a poll. I'm going to put that as a poll. Jason, what is something that you want to vent about?
Oh, Tom just beat me to it. because that is something that I talk a lot about, and I live in Norway. That's even worse when it comes to the LGBTQ plus whatever you want to.
Oh God, I hate that acronym now. They've killed it.
Yeah. And in Norway, it's a lot worse because we don't only have one goddamn month. We have up till almost December in Norway with Pride.
Damn.
Yeah, we have basically the last month of this year. Every year is basically Pride, and I see it all everywhere. Everyone is talking, and one of my closest friends who used to work for me. She's a transgender, transsexual woman, and she's they call her Blair White of Norway now, and she's a Gen Z, and that's really funny. She's a Gen Z also, and that's what's really funny about it too. But people are attacking her so goddamn much because of her opinions, and we did find out that the community with the transgenders, as I like to call them. Not real trans people, but transgenders.
Exactly.
They have started to make some rubber-ish babies that trans women can put up in their butt to pretend that they're pregnant.
It's called pooping.
Who knew? That is something they have created now. And I'm just like, no. What is?
I'm gonna have to find a news article on this.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like that is disgusting. Like, there's a lot of creeps out there who are going to take advantage of this too, right? There's a lot of creeps out there. So that's what I talk a lot about in my normal life and all that. As an LGBT person myself, there's no plus after. It's just LGBT, nothing else.
Yep, that's it.
And it's becoming a hardcore problem. And again, what I hate is that I have so many straight friends and Christian friends, especially straight Christian friends. They are the ones who's getting so fucking much attacked just because their belief. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter what they believe in. That's completely fine. Look at me and Mike. Two completely different people. A Viking who likes to be violent and drink mead. And Mike is more peaceful and nice. But no, it is getting out of hand, and it is the same thing. I used to be I was on Pride one time in my entire life when I was younger. One goddamn time. Never again. I was dating a guy at the time, and the first thing I see when we were gonna look at the goddamn people walking, all that kind of stuff, and then I see someone dressing up like Jesus with bleeding between their legs and making out with men. And I'm like, that is just disrespectful and disgusting to do. That is, you're taking the piss out of a religion right here. You are mocking a big religion here. You're mocking so many people here. And I also think, I also thought then, at the time, it's like, what about the gay people who are Christians? You're also giving them the finger by doing
and they
this.
exist. They are out there.
Yeah.
A few of them. I have a lot of friends that are Christian. And
so you're also attacking your own community that has that beliefs that I think is like, you don't think about that, do you? Huh? I'm a lot on the same train with Tom with this, because it's something I've been talking about for so many years now, and it really have pissed me off more and more. And I really feel bad for my friend. She was at the point that she doesn't care anymore if you call her female or male. She doesn't care anymore. She's just like, I don't care what the fuck you call me anymore. I'm just done with this whole fucking bullshit. Yeah. They are basically pushing her so much away from the community that she kind of wants to just be a guy again, and identify as a guy again, because they push her away. And I think that's really wrong. You're pushing someone who have been in this community for a long time, and just she has different opinions. She has the same birthday as Donald Trump too, and she loves it. She's flexing that. And she loves Donald Trump. Exactly. So yeah, it's a lot of the same things there. So there's not much more to say, but yeah, I love this, what Tom said, and stuff like that I vent a lot about and talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay away from butt babies. You don't have space babies like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But now you have butt babies.
So we have the first ever on Man-O-Rama. We have 2 panelists in the same
a duo.
room.
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
That's the wrong camera. It's using this camera. We need that camera set up. But hello, hi. This is my
we
buddy
have
Rod.
We have Canadian Spider-Man and Rod Thunderheart.
In the same room, everybody.
I know.
Mhm,
That is
same room.
awesome.
Brains are exploding.
Yep.
That is
We're at Rod's house.
The best crossover on YouTube right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, we're late. I want to vent about Google Maps. Mike commented in the container. I saw you.
Vent, baby. Vent.
Vent,
You can
man.
vent right now.
Okay.
It sent me an hour north. You know where we marked where Rod lives? It's an hour south of that. It's nowhere near.
Whoa.
Yes. That
Hear
road
that, Google?
stop.
You guys suck.
They suck. I have so much I want to vent about Google and cops that give speeding tickets.
I was about to ask you guys, you two, because we're now getting to the question. I'm allowing you guys to vent in a brief way. Canadian Spider-Man, what do you want to vent about Google Maps?
I want to vent that they cannot seem to tell the difference between 2 roads that are they're not accurate. They send you in the way far direction, way off. Because I typed in the address exactly as Rod, and that is his address. It says so outside, but for some reason, Google Maps can't get their shit together. I just want them to get their shit together. They send you in the wrong direction. When you type in the address correctly, if I had typed it incorrectly, my bad, but I didn't. And it took us way to the wrong end of town, like an hour away. And hello, everyone. I don't mean to be rude. Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody.
Goddamn, that's
Rod.
crazy, man.
Really warmed up to Canadian Spidey here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I have a cat on my lap.
Hey.
Aw.
Hey.
Spidey's got
And we
bushes
are
now.
wearing pants.
That's
There we go.
good. You know,
That's a
I
bonus.
was hoping nothing. Rod, I'm glad that you're
I just
here.
showed you my pussy.
Yeah.
We found a loophole how to get more people on the show. This is how you
Oh,
do
nice.
it, guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Pussy.
Rod, is there anything you want to vent about?
Yeah, actually, I swear to Christ, I think, and like, you never even think that Canada would have dirty cops, but guess what? We do. I mean, because and I'm sorry, but, well, I'm not going to exactly say his ethnicity. I'm just going to say that he was a visible.
It froze.
It
A visible
froze at the
what?
perfect
I
moment.
hear from
Did you see
Canadian Spider. Now, here's the thing: Canadian Spider-Man said they had great Wi-Fi where Rod was.
Yeah.
If this is great Wi-Fi, I'm a billionaire.
That's all right. We will.
Oh, wait.
Are we back?
There we go.
Are you back?
Back.
Okay,
You're back.
guys.
You're back.
A visible.
That's
I
Canadian
unplugged the
Wi-Fi.
No, I unplugged it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you unplugged it, you
Yes.
dirty bastard.
In the perfect moment.
Rick Moranis, why? Continue, Rod. Continue.
Yeah.
Okay, a
As I was saying,
visible.
He was a visible minority. Okay, he was Indian. Not native. Not native. Indian. And I swear to Christ. I mean, like I'm looking at my thing, and like I will say too, I was going a little over the speed limit, 100, and I was doing 104, but I also know that my car is calibrated. I mean, shit, only like 7 miles prior to that, I had actually passed a visible sign, and it had said, 90. I was doing 95, but according to the sign, I was doing 92. So that tells you right there. I've known this for a while. My car goes 3 kilometers slower than what my speedometer tells me. So I was, and then like as soon as he pulls me over, he's like, "You were doing 137." I'm like, "No, I wasn't." Bullshit. And he said, "No, my thing clocked you. When was the last time you had your?" He kind of sort of leaned in, sort of like, "When was the last time you had your thing calibrated?" I'm like, "It's been it's been slower than what I have," and like. Anyway, he took my license registration, and then I knew even if he wanted to give me a 135 kilometer ticket, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, fuck you, I'm gonna fight it, And oh, Steve disappeared.
No,
I'm still here.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking fight it, But then he comes back he finally comes back to the car, and pretty fast, I actually have to say, in spite of everything. And then he says, "Okay, I reread the thing, and I not." He said, "I didn't make it 135. I knocked it down to 115." Which is like, yes, I mean that's still an offense, but I'm like, yeah, fuck. But it's still like, yeah, fuck you. Like it's still about 5 kilometers over what you what you would call an allowable, like over the limit. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But I'm still fighting it. Fuck that. I am fucking fighting it. Fuck you. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And like I said, and he's a fucking, again, it reminded me of like that one episode where in Monk, where he actually speaks up for a dirty cop, and then like and then Ted Levine was just like, he is a dirty cop, Monk. And I'm just like, that's the first thing that was going through my head. Like when he came back to my car, like I'd see him in the mirror and he's walking back up. I was like, all I heard was Ted Levine saying, "He is a dirty cop, Monk." I'm like, yeah, of course he is. And he's like, I knocked it down to 115. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck you. You're not getting your goddamn what do you call it?
Money
Quota.
Quota. That's the word. Yeah. Right. You're not getting your fucking quota off me.
I'm gonna have to settle him down. He's getting worked up here.
His
hit him
hair.
The fireball.
See, guys, everyone in the chat, this is venting as he drinks bourbon, rum.
That's
what are you guys drinking tonight?
Fireball.
Do you want to have a
nice? Wow. You guys know
I can't do Fireball. I might.
I know. A lot of diabetics.
I guess some stories of friends that.
Sugar.
It's basically a children's drink for me.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, is there anything you want to vent?
Yeah, dude. There's a ton.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
I could very easily get political, but I won't. I'm going to be a bigger man than that. I'm going to vent about the calendar. So, why in the goddamn fuck do they first put Black History Month as the shortest month of the year? Rude. It's very disrespectful to the African Americans. And 2, why do they lump men's mental health together with gay month? Or gay month, you know what I mean?
Gay plus month, gay premium.
Men's mental health just gets completely pushed to the side. No one gives a shit about it. And it really feels like that was done intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
So that honestly really fucking pissed me off because I'm sure there's a lot of people, on the panel and in the chat just watching that have lost people to suicide. And if you look at the statistics, man, like way more men off themselves than women. And
77%. It's men.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And if we really cared about men's mental health, we wouldn't group it together with Gay Month, which has its own parade. All the corporations change everything to, the flag for them and everything. So it just really pisses me off knowing that something so serious as that is just getting pushed to the side. Like, yeah, it's also men's mental health, but hey, gay people. And to piggyback off what you guys are saying too about just the whole pride thing in general, dude, that shit has gotten way out of hand.
Oh yeah.
It is so inappropriate to bring children to gay pride these days.
Oh yeah, it really is, because it's over sexualized as fuck, dude. It's disgusting.
I mean, 20 years ago, gay pride, it really meant something. It meant they just wanted to be accepted as everybody else.
Yep.
You know, I have several gay friends myself, and that's just what they want. They just want to be, you know, humanized, not treated any different. They just want to be accepted. But now it's turned into something to where people's entire personalities and personas is based off their sexuality. It's just
Well, you can identify as everything in the world right now. You know, you can identify as weather. You can identify as a Care Bear now. You can identify as a baby. All the weird stuff you can identify as these days.
The fact that they're trying to put people who are, I don't want to say the word, minor attracted people.
Oh man,
yeah, them motherfuckers.
Yeah, they try to push it.
I don't want those people. No,
nobody does.
Then you're going to be really disappointed in Norway. They are trying to do some treatments for those kind of people and try to normalize it a lot more in Norway now.
Put them on a lineup.
Oh, see, no, I'm
not going to say anymore.
Well, let Tyler finish.
By the way,
I've been drinking the whole time I've been on here, and I'm starting to feel.
Same here, brother. Same here.
You guys don't reel me back in. I'm just going to keep going down different directions. But I think
we all have alcohol.
I think my real complaint was the calendar of, if you guys really gave a fuck about these issues, you wouldn't put Black History Month as the shortest month of the year. That's mad fucked up. You wouldn't put Gay Pride as 1 month is the same month as men's mental health. You would separate them. You don't put two fucking big things together and call it a whole month. Anyway, that's about it. I could go on, but I regress. Steve, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Chip. Mike, anything you want to point?
Yeah, why do hot dog buns come in packs of 8, but hot dogs come in packs of 12? What the fuck? What kind of exactly?
Yes.
What kind of evil genius thought of this kind of friggin' thing that you have to end up buying more hot dog buns than hot dogs?
I know.
Right?
I know, right?
Who's the sick bastard that can't? No, I'm kidding. No, but it's actually legitimate.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When you know what? When it comes to venting, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to make it about me whatsoever. I'm not. Right. But, you know, this is about venting and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that I'm just, I don't know, that I'm just venting about is sometimes I wonder what is wrong with me being the age that I'm at. And I've been working my ass off for years and years and years and years. And I'm not further ahead than most people are nowadays. You know, it's like you put in your hours each day, you know, depending on what job you're working at, and you know, and you prove yourself on the job site, and you wonder why aren't I further ahead than I am now, right? You know, you put your blood, sweat, and tears for ages and ages and ages. And it just seems like you've accomplished nothing, you know, to you know, right. even though you're trying to get ahead and trying to eke out some sort of living, but it just seems like nothing ever, I don't know. I don't want to say nothing ever works out, because in a weird kind of way, it sort of kind of does, but not fully and completely. You know, I mean, each one of us each one of us have been there where you worked your guts out for like so many years, and you're still in the same situation where you're at. Like you're still paying rent to some guy to pay off their own mortgage. You don't have a home of your own. You're wondering, how come I don't have any savings in the bank for like, maybe 3 months ahead or something like that, and basically, society ends up basically crapping on you. Like, you must have just been lazy, or you probably just didn't work hard enough or anything like that. And I hate that. I hate it with a passion because, excuse me, because, I even had to explain that to my parents at one point ages ago. I just can't understand why you can't keep a job. It's like, it's not me whatsoever. I work my ass off, and just sometimes, like what Tony Stark posted a few days ago, he's just on the chopping block. He doesn't know if he's going to have a job or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm under some sort of weird voodoo curse of some sort or what it is. But, it just perplexes me at times that, for all the years that I've been working my arse off, trying to provide for a family, trying to, keep food on the table, trying to, get clothes on my kids' back, making sure that they have everything that they need, that I'm not further ahead, than what I should be now. Like with my own home to call my own and everything, it's just so freaking weird. Right. But
yeah, totally understand that. Yeah.
That's me, what I'm venting about. So it's dumbfounded me for
I'm with
ages.
you, brother. Same. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, Mike. I know your religious beliefs. We have to remember we're not on our time; we're on God's time. So the fact that
that's true too.
You're not where you were expecting to be. It's because there's growth and struggle. So God is preparing you for what's coming, but it's going to take a lot to get there. And we can get frustrated, but we really just need to trust God that we're going to get there on His time, not ours. Because I'm right there with you, man. I feel everything you said completely.
100% here too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to you, Steve.
Steve.
You guys ready for a real, like, I want to say real venting, but every single one of you guys venting, I relate to.
Yeah.
There's something there as my dog's all walking around, like, I'm going to walk around.
I can't believe that being pulled over and like, it was exactly.
We're on camera. We're still on the microphone.
It's all cool. I love it.
I haven't muted anything, Rod.
Rod is
everything.
I love Rod.
Yesterday.
See this.
Rod is one of my favorite. I love Rod, man. You're an awesome guy.
Oh, he is super awesome.
It's fantastic.
He is.
The thing that I want to vent about, it's a little bit. It's more personal for the show. I see everyone do these pop culture things, do these YouTube things, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than everyone else. I'm not. Right. It's when it comes to learning something. For me personally, I'm a person who wants to learn. Like, I just put down flooring. I'm spending all week putting down flooring for this place that I'm working at. And it's just the ability to learn how to do this and actually get into doing it. I see a bunch of people that I consider lazy in the fact that they want to sit on their couch and just watch pop culture stuff, listen to all these pop culture things, which is all fine and grand. That's all fine. But there's a moment where you kind of have to think to yourself, I want to learn life skills. I want to do these things. And that's what's been frustrating me for a few months, to the point where it's take my show out of the picture, there could be someone else. I would end up watching that show because I'm learning something from it. It's, I think, guys specifically, we have this box of just, we want to learn something, and it needs to be ripped open, and then we can just learn things. Because the moment you start learning things and start learning how to be a man, how to do all these things, how to understand mental, like men's health awareness, how to do all these things that we talk about, it's to the point where you get this gratification, not from other people, but just from you. You're like, wow, I learned how to do this. I learned how to do that. This tip actually worked. Holy crap. It's to the point where I see a bunch of people, especially guys, that are just like, lazy. And it bugs me to the point where I'm like, there's so much more to life. And I talk to some guys and they always say, I've done all these crazy cool things. I'm like, that's cool. That's a little bit different. When you hit the point where you're like, I've done everything I wanted to do and learned everything, I just want to relax. That's another thing. That's another topic right there. How men should relax.
Yes, exactly. Well, nail that down, brother.
It's gonna be a new topic. That's the beauty about the show.
Yes, exactly.
When you get to the point where you put effort into helping guys deal with mental issues, depression, whatever this, like, I'm going through the divorce, I'm going through
We have a lot.
a breakup, I'm going through a lot of things. Like, here's the other thing. I will say this right now. If anyone is going through anything right now, you can DM me anytime, and I'm willing to answer what you're going through. I'm willing to listen.
Thanks, man.
I know a lot of people who watch the show that say, oh, Rancor Steve's an asshole and all that stuff. Nah, that's the internet side. Some of you guys know me. A lot of you guys know me personally. I'm not like that. I'm willing to drop everything and listen to what someone has to say. I'm willing to listen to the 27,000 page DM that Tom sends me.
Exactly.
He has something, he has a value. I say that jokingly. They're long DMs. But I'm willing to listen to what people say. I'm here for people. I want guys to understand, get that. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's that tenacious of being a man. That's what I'm venting about. It's like there's a point in reality where guys need to just nut up or shut up. Which side are you going to be on? And I learned, I'll be very honest right now. There's a point where my marriage was going to hit a point where it's like, this may not work out. And I had a very long talk with my wife, and I was like, you know what? I need to not be comfortable with my marriage, and I need to be uncomfortable in the sense where I need to work at my marriage. It doesn't, I can go on all the shows and do all these things, but it's like, you know what? My wife comes before this show, becomes before Lakeabilly, my wife comes first on everything. And there's a point where I had to learn, even recently for me, it's a guy who's close to his 40s that had to be like, you know what? I need to step up. I need to learn all these things. And I look on X and I look on Facebook. I look everywhere. I see everything. People tell me everything. And I see these guys that just, and it just pisses me off. I'm like, man, if only they just grabbed life by the balls and they just went for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And they just was like, you know what? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. The moment I'm not kidding you guys. Anyone who's watching and you feel offended, good. You should be offended by what I say.
Oh, hell yeah.
Being offended makes you feel uncomfortable because there's something inside you that makes you want to actually go, hey, let's do this. Whether go camping, whether go fix a car, whatever the situation is. It's doing that stuff. If you're afraid, so what? If we all fail, I get a lot of guys. I know Mike asked me, and I know Tyler's asked me a lot of things. I'm like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'll Google it. Just look online. It's okay. Yeah. That's what's pissing me off about this whole thing. It's like guys being lazy. And we're like, yeah, I don't care about being a man. I think I am a man.
Exactly.
No, you're not. You're sitting on your couch eating Cheetos, watching a bunch of pop culture stuff, listening to the same random bullshit online when you can actually look on YouTube and Rumble everywhere.
Ooh, what bits and bytes.
Learn how to, like, you can go on YouTube, learn. I love that.
But you can learn
different skills. And that's what pisses me off. And I just, man,
learn to use your hands, build something, you know.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh, man. It's the thing. Yeah, that's what I have to vent about. And I know, like, the views probably just dropped. Like, fuck this guy. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care about views. I don't care about anything. I'll keep doing this show however long I want to do. As long as I do life skills and teach guys how to be men. It's like, yeah, even it's just me.
Being a man is being erased these days.
Here's the thing. Being a man is not easy.
No.
It is mentally hard.
Can I piggyback off that, Steve? I want to make you inspire me.
No. Yes, you can.
When I turned like 48 or so, I said to myself, I got tired of doing security jobs, call center jobs, and I was a teacher one time. I worked at the Coast Guard. I'd done tons of different types of jobs in my life. I said, I'm a good photographer. I'm going to follow my dream. And I said, screw it. And I work my ass off. I do 13-hour days. I don't get paid for it, but I still work my ass off. And same with film. I'm in film. I'm with the film co-op. I try to do films and stuff. I've got some stuff I'm working on. So, but I said, screw it. I'm at my age now. I'm going to work my ass off, and I don't get paid for it, but I'm trying to make it. And I said, that's what you got to do. Just sometimes, and I'm not saying quit your job. Like, I got let go due to certain things, but the stupid coof. But anyway, sometimes you have to go for it. I agree with you. Get off the couch. Go out and follow your dreams. Follow your passions. And don't wait till you're older, too. That sucks when you're older and doing it. But I'm still doing it. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I agree 100% with you. Don't be just sitting there and watch stuff. Get out there and doing it, because that's what life's about, man. You have to. Oh, it's next thing you know, it's gone. And then, you've missed it. So
have some balls. Just go fucking get it. Go get it.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
And if you fall on your face, oh, well, that's how you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
I fail. I get back up again. Keep on going.
We all fail.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I failed so much. I'm doing a Rumble YouTube show
about venting. Venting.
because here's the thing: if you constantly think that you're X, whatever you think you are, then that's all that you're ever going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. If you think you're going to be a loser, or if you think that you're not going to amount to much, then that's all that you're going to be in life, right? You have to basically transform your thinking and start to think positive, right? I mean, holy crap. There could be, what? One thing that I like to say often is, could be worse. Thank God it ain't, right? Because we all could be in that worst situation. But you know what? Thank God you're not in that worst situation. But if you constantly are thinking to yourself that I'm not going to amount to much in life, I'm never going to get that job, or I'm never going to get that gig or anything like that, then fine. Then don't be surprised that you're going to be stuck. But you know what? Being a man is the hardest thing, because we are constantly, and it's not putting women down or anything like that. It's got nothing to do with women. We're just talking about men, because the thing is that we struggle constantly. We try to strive for some sort of form of excellence in life, or that we've accomplished something, because I can guarantee you almost every man on the face of the planet thinks about what kind of message or legacy am I going to leave when I'm gone.
Exactly.
And if you don't think about that, then you are the laziest bastard that probably ever lived.
So here's something my wife. What were we going to say, Canadian Spider-Man?
I said, I never thought of that till Mike said it now, and now I
Good
feel
point.
like a lazy
Yes.
bastard. But no,
Why-
that's why I don't have
Says
kids.
the
Like,
guy
why do I need
who
a
will eat a
legacy?
deer heart. Shut up.
And
Yeah.
in true Canadian fashion,
YouTube is
I'm
my
sorry,
legacy.
Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
here's
you're
the other
like,
thing.
I'm just gonna say sorry just because we're Canadian. Yeah.
My
Sorry.
stop saying sorry.
Sorry.
Jesus, man.
It's Canadian.
So
What us
my
Canadians
wife, my wife asked
Sorry.
my. I'll say
Sorry,
sorry to
dude.
my wife sometimes. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay.
She's like, oh, whatever. But there was a moment where I talked to my wife, and she saw the DMs I was getting like crazy, and she's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I'm getting a bunch of death threats. I'm getting a bunch of angry tweet DMs from a bunch of dudes." This is when I had my old account on X.
Okay.
When I was verified. Whatever. I'll make this show successful without spending a single dime. Watch it. She asked me, she's like, what's going, like, what are you dealing with? And I was like, oh, I'm dealing with death threats. I'm dealing with all these things, like people just hating it. And there's all guys, no women. That's the other thing. I have more women come to me and be like, hey, thank you very much for the show. I was like, what? And I have a bunch of guys who are like, I hate you. And I was like, well, this is a little matrix
Weird.
going on here. I don't.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
But my wife said, how often do you deal with this? And I said, every day. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, being a man, I told her straight out, I was like, being a man, I said, you should be more privileged and be thankful for being a woman because you don't have to deal with this. She even said, she likes to say, what do you mean? To question it and to push the main topic. And I said,
what do you mean?
Yeah.
It's the
when
fire.
she finally said, what do you mean? When I said, just be thankful that you are a woman. I said, you don't have to deal with this because no one is going to push you to the limit that you have.
Exactly, man.
And she felt bad for me.
What?
She's like, she even apologized. She's like, I'm sorry that you go through this. I was like, hey, it's nothing. It's that point of being a man. Thing. Yeah, it's to us, it's nothing. Like, yeah, we get a few DMs like, hey, I hate you. I want to take your whole family out. Care. It's like, good luck. Do you guys know where I'm originally from? The South. We own guns, you idiots.
I always
come at me,
coffee.
Bro. I'll send you. I'll DM you my address, and we'll duke it out. I will win.
Yep.
But it's when guys realize, hey, how do I need to be a man? Right here.
Yeah.
You have 7 guys. I was gonna say 6 guys. I was gonna say 8, but I don't count a cat as an 8. But when you have 7 guys all talking about what frustrates us, what we go through, all these things, we're not all different. Yeah, we may have different beliefs. We may have different ideologies on things, but we all have the same plan. It's how to be a better man, whether it's with wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it might be. It's at the end of the day, we just want to be a better man. On that note, guys,
if I could jump in real quick off what you just said. I'm going to also about the show is just the fact that we're trying to be men. There's so many like alpha male podcasts, and dude, those guys are fucking scumbags. If you watch any of their shows, all they do is they just shit on women. They brag about material wealth. They don't talk anything about integrity, honor, discipline, none of that.
No,
like show, we're just trying to acknowledge, hey, we're all men. We all go through the same struggles. We're trying to better ourselves and better those around us. That I think is a million times better than these like alpha fucking males.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just to add what Tyler said, you do a good job, Steve. You do. This is a needed thing because you're not of the red or blue pill stuff. You tell the truth of what men
I'm a
need
pink
to hear.
pill. All right. Get it right.
This, I agree with him.
Canadian Spider-Man look on his face is like, well, hello.
Hello. Yeah, baby.
I
We
love
see your
you,
face.
Spartacus.
We don't know what you're saying. No, it's Tyler is right. And thank you, Tom. It's Tyler is right. There's a lot of shows. You got the Fresh and Fit, whatever you call it. There's a lot of shows out there where it's like I watched the Whatever podcast. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a very huge podcast. And I even reached out to them. I was like, hey, if you want me on, bring it on. I'll come on. And they turned me down. I was like, well, fuck you. But I'll still go on. There's a point where if guys watch these alpha males, like what Tyler's talking about, you get the OnlyFans chicks, you get all these things. I feel like that's more promoting the women on the shows on the podcast, really. Right. Like I'll listen to, I know this is going to be controversial. Again, I don't care about views. I'll listen to Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate a little bit. Andrew Tate, 50%. I'll be like, yeah, you're right. Tristan Tate, he's got his head on a little bit more right. It's those guys, as extreme and crazy as they are, they're not right on a lot of things. But there's some things they do talk about that I do appreciate what they do. And yeah, it's if you want to get connected and plug into a channel, just be careful. Sometimes if you get the Fresh Fit, whatever that one is, that one can they're right about maybe 10% of the time, but a lot of times they'll be like, I don't like you. Or I'm like, dude, I'm a small channel, whatever. But there's a point where it's like you kind of have to reach out, watch these channels. There's a few that I watch and I really appreciate what they do. And I like them. Yeah. On that note, our favorite segment. That's right. Tip of the hat, guys. I've changed it up. Tyler, you've been here. You haven't been here for a while. This is a segment where we appreciate. I'd have a hat. And it'd be kind of like a joke Shriner's hat. I don't have it with me right now, but tip of the hat, we're gonna actually give the tip of the hat to someone who we know personally or who has affected us personally. I know some have said dads, some have said brothers, uncles, whoever it might be, to have personally impacted you in a positive way. So instead of me picking a name out of the hat, we're gonna do this. Let's see. Canadian Spider-Man.
Ooh, yes, sir. This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I want to shout out to my high school sweetheart's father.
Oh,
Merle. Merle, wherever you are. He just turned 80 this year. And my God, he can still bench press a truck. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Dang.
I met him through his daughter, who I kept harassing until she agreed to go out with me at 15 years old, 15 in grade 10. And I was a bookworm. I knew all about books. I was studying. I was all getting good grades, studying. I didn't know jack shit about tools. And this man, I'm not sure if he was impressed that I was dating his daughter. Probably not, because I didn't know anything about tools. and he's very much a tool, like a man's man. I can, you need that? I'll just build it. What do you mean? He'll just build it. So I'll shout out to Merle. He taught me not to be there's more than just books. I did my first oil change. I forgot to put the oil plug back in. I know. And then I put the oil plug back in. And I thought when you changed oil, I thought that you filled up the oil in the engine like you do a radiator, like until you can see the oil at the top of the engine. So I put like 20 liters of oil in the engine.
Oh, God.
And I went back in and I told Merle, I said, I need more oil. And he goes, what, you finished all 4 trucks? And I said, no, I put all the oil into 1 truck and it still needs more. And he goes, you didn't turn it on, did you? And I said, no, I didn't start it. He goes, oh my God, do not. Because you'll blow every seal. So we had to drain the oil. So shout out to Merle. He taught me auto mechanics. He taught me welding. He taught me how to be a man. Even if it's difficult and you're freezing cold and you're wet and you haven't eaten and you probably have to pee and everything's gone wrong and you're probably bleeding at some point, but you still go out because the job needs to get done, and you still go out and you finish the job in minus 25. You do it.
Yeah.
And that's what a man is. You get the job done because people are counting on you. And that's what I learned from Merle. Oh, and that's my piece.
Rod.
No.
It's the police officer that gave you a ticket, didn't it?
You look up to the police officer, do you?
I do not until I know. Because I was doing 104, and like in other words, I was doing 10. In other words, because I know that my car was 3 kilometers short of what my
Okay, so not him.
Speedometer says.
So what man do you look up to?
So I was doing 104.
I knew it. I love this. Oh man, Rod, you're great.
Yes,
what man do you look up?
I'm just gonna say my brother, because he had in this building, and I hope he doesn't hear it. And like,
yeah, he's upstairs.
My brother, because like he went past, like he had 3 things that happened to him in less than a month, and that is like somebody jumped in front of him, went to make a left-handed turn, and he was just kind of like, as a truck driver, he was looking like, what the fuck, you know? And like the best part was that his accident was curated by Edmonton City Police, and like they were watching, like weren't watching. Like they saw the whole thing. We were on the oncoming lane, and they saw everything that happened. The truck that had cut my brother off, and my brother was kind of, what the fuck? You know? And like, you know, and then his second thing was just simply like he was way up north. I know what it was like. Like, you know, we were way up into a tiny town. Like you come in, you turn around the corner, also like. There's a whole bunch of like vehicles both in the ditch, like on the road in front of you, and you're just like, "What do I do?" You know. And he was like, "Okay, fine."
So,
into the ditch. You know.
That's why you look up to him.
Yes, actually,
he handled himself.
And then like the third thing was like he sat there and like he went past because it was so goddamn cold. So goddamn cold. That's my show, yeah. And he tried to back up, but like suddenly, like he sat there and like all it did was like intensify the thing, and it was like suddenly, and it folded it, and like it wrecked the canopy. Well, not just the canopy, but also like the sleeper cap. And it was like, you know, and my brother was just going, you know, and like, well, when you're hauling dangerous goods, and by dangerous goods, I'm talking about
women.
No, but like, no, seriously, when you're hauling dangerous goods in terms of like gas, fuel, or anything else that like maybe like might blow up or whatever, you know, it might, you know, and my brother, like in 2.5 weeks, that all that shit all happened then, and like whatever you want to call it, like something happened to him, like whether like something in the stars or something
spiritual,
but it all happened like
good for him, man.
And like but as a result, he's like he sat there and like he ultimately like he bowed out like of his job, and like okay, fine, but like as a result, like brother, respect. I wish he was up. He probably might be upstairs. Like he probably might even heard her, but like bro, respect.
Nice.
That's
nice.
all.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Tom.
I try.
It's all good.
I'm trying to think off the cuff.
Our own Michael Moore.
Yes. No, he's not mine. No, he's not mine. More Mike Myers, but
nope.
Actually, there's two people from Calgary that I can think of right offhand. One was Stu Hart, but I'll save him for another time. When I stayed with the Hart camp, great man, helped me out. But there's another man that I was with Calgary, and I'm going to embarrass him right now because he's right there. This man right here, Mike, brother. You helped me more than you know. I've got to say that back in was it in the I forget what year, 90 something. I was in Montreal.
Yep.
I called you up. Boom, dude, I need to go. Boom, you said, come on out. And it was you, Sean, and the other guy. So I was like, yep, we'll go out there. And then you took me in, and I'm like, this tiny little apartment where you could sit on the. Oh, that was fun time. But I mean, I got a chance to go out there, and you showed me around. You took me in, boom, and and it was awesome. It was an experience. I was there for a few months now. And then you brought me back into this. You knew my experience from radio and stuff. And then you said, hey, man, come on in. And this has changed my life. I mean, like I said, I want to do photography. I want to do film, but now podcasting, because you knew me as I wanted to do radio. And this kind of got my groove going back of like, people say I can talk. God knows I can talk. This is something that is in second. Like I cut my fingers in many pies because, in today's world, you have to. You can't do just one thing. You inspired me to get back into this. Your show. I loved your show stuff. And you've always had my back, brother. We disagree on things sometimes. We do. But that's what friends do. That's what brothers do, man. And you've always had my back. And thank you. Straight up.
Thanks, man.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
Just say on the truth, man. So,
I love that. Me? My turn?
Or I can go to someone else.
No, I'll go. I gotta say, my grandpa, dude. Honestly, Steve, I'm sure I've talked to you about him before.
Oh yeah,
he was a Freemason. He unfortunately passed before I really got to know him man to man. He died when I was in the 5th grade. However old you are when you're in 5th grade. But man, the last time we did Tip the Hat that I was on, I said my father, and I have the utmost respect and love for my father. I have a great relationship with him. When I was younger, my father was a very angry guy. The only person my father would ever submit to was his father-in-law. Like my dad, when he was around my grandpa, he acted right. And when I saw my grandpa just interacting with other people, he just commanded respect. He just had this essence about him of just, he would hold you accountable without being a fucking asshole about it. He was gentle but firm. He was just honorable, and he's the entire reason I joined the Freemasons was because I looked up to him so much, and I thought, if that is what a Freemason is like, that's what I want to be. He was a Army Ranger. Like, he was stacking bodies in Korea back in the day. He just, I don't know, man. Like, I've pretty much modeled my entire personality, life, everything off of my grandpa. Just because I looked up to him so much, and it's a bummer I never got to know him man to man, but just as a boy, we had a very special bond, and that's something I always paid attention to, was just the respect that he commanded when he was around, without being a dick. Like I was saying, like he just he was kind, but he would assert himself and kind of be an asshole if he had to be, because he was holding people accountable. So he was trying to make people around him better by doing that. And that's something that I really just respected about him, is keeping the company around you, just making them better, trying to hold everybody accountable around you. And yeah, dude, like that, my grandpa, for sure. Tip of the hat to that.
Awesome. That's cool, man. Jason.
Well, for me, it has to always be my dad, because as I said earlier, when we were on another show, we talked about this. So it's always been my dad, after everything that we had to go through, all the sacrifice that he did, and what he did help me what it did teach me as a kid. Because I got bullied, all the time in school and shit like that. It wasn't easy being a comic book geek or anime geek as a child, really wasn't, how it is. It wasn't the most popular thing. Now, it's trendy and all that, but at that time it was not popular at all. The thing is that I had a lot of anger issues, because my past with before I moved to my dad, what happened, I'm not going to go fully into, but so I had a lot of anger, a lot of issues that I had to go through. And in school, after I got bullied, I got beaten up so much. So my dad, he did teach me, and Norway is a fucking shithole when it comes to defending yourself. You're not allowed to own a firearm. You're not allowed to even defend yourself with fists. If you defend yourself with fists, you have a big chance to go to jail for 2 years, basically.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Yeah. So my dad, he did teach me to defend myself, and that's how I got into martial arts. And he bought a boxing bag, he bought weights, everything for me, and tried to teach me how to defend myself and be a man in the fight, and finish the fight if I had to. But he also did help me to get self-control over my anger, because I could get really angry with no self-control, and then I would harm the people I defended myself against. And we don't want that. We don't want them to end up in the hospital. And because I was a really strong kid. I remember one time I got so mad and I refused to move, and then I was holding my dad's bed or something, because we had a bed in the living room. I was watching TV and stuff, and I got so mad for something. I don't remember what the fuck it was. And then he was going to try to take me to the room, and I have to stay there. But that did not work. So I lifted basically the whole bed with me when he was trying to take me up. I was, so I was always one of the strongest kid in school. But I was in the beginning, I was so afraid of everything. I was afraid to defend myself. I was afraid of everyone. But my dad, he did teach me to stand up and not be afraid of anything, and and fight back if you have to. And so he did teach me a lot of that kind of stuff. And he also did teach me, how to get my hands dirty, with, building houses, fixing motors and, vehicles, whatever. He did help me to teach a lot of these kind of things that I love to do today. I love getting my hands dirty. I love working on projects. It's just I love working. I'm a workaholic. When I have a project, I love it. So don't be lazy. Do cool stuff that you love. Go to the woods, do stuff there, build stuff, work on a car, a bike, whatever it is. It is amazing. And so it's a lot of things that he did teach me there. And my dad always tells me that I also did teach him a lot of other stuff to grow up and become a real man, because he had his issues too. He had a lot of his issues too. And I helped him I did teach him a lot of things, and he did teach me a lot of things. And that's why we have this amazing, beautiful friendship. We are best friends, but also father and son, So he helped me to be honest, who I am, don't hide myself. And being really vocal as I am. It is a funny thing. My dad have said this multiple times. I'm even more vocal than him on a lot of things, and I just think it's fun. And yeah, so everything goes out to my dad. I would not be here today without him. He's the best man and the best friend I will ever have in my life. And he's a strong guy. He have survived 3 heart attacks, and that's not often that happens. So I'm really happy. Since me and my dad are Norse pagans, we say, of course, thank Odin in that kind of sense. No, just being strong, and he's the one who also did teach me that life is too short and you have to make the most of it, just like my great grandmother. So I'm gonna add my great grandmother into this too, because she's the one who basically raised my father, and and it went back to me. So yeah, I just want to thank those 2 people in my life because they shaped who I am.
That's awesome. Mike.
Yeah. Well, okay. 2 people. First and foremost, I want to thank Canadian Spider-Man for providing me with free beer today. So,
dude, you paid for it. You don't know what I stole from your shop, do you?
Where's the Holy Grail?
It's you
remember that cup
change
that were you showing me?
Yeah, where's the Holy Grail, Mike? Oh, there it is.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Showing me the Holy Grail cup. I want that. I want that.
By the way, hello, this is
talk to Gary. No, you know what? Tom, thanks. I was told I'm not good at taking compliments, and you know what, dude? Thanks, man. I
just tell like I see it, brother. So
you guys want to get a room or something?
No, because we're men and we don't need compliments.
Yes,
men don't need compliments.
Spider-Man Rod, you already have a room. It's okay.
No,
it's okay, guys. You already have one.
We'll get a warehouse. It'll be just fabulous.
Stepping up the game. Oh my God!
It'll be a rave. It'll be a rave. Anyway, you know what? Okay, well then, in that vein, you know what? I want to thank you, Steve.
Oh shit.
For I love you, Spartacus. Well, for putting this show on, because like I told you before, you know what? There aren't a lot of shows out there, like probably next to none, that talk about men stuff, men issues, how to bring manhood back to a society where it's trying to squash manhood, and yeah, you have all these other, these alpha male podcasts and stuff like that. It's like, with these fancy, beautiful boys that talk about all this kind of stuff, and like, dude, that's just like what Tyler said. It's basically like vacuous dribble is what it is, basically, or you got the whatever cast, and sure, they might bring a couple of thoughts on there or something like that to basically, I think honestly they do it just to show how dumb some of these women are, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? In a way, that's kind of petty in a weird kind of way, right? It's really weird. But we've talked quite a bit, and like you said, yeah, there were a couple of times where it was like really frustrating for you for think about whether or not you want to carry on with this show and whatnot, and I get it, dude. It's hard when you feel like hardly anybody's watching, and but you know what, you're sticking to your guns. You're putting on a show that can help young men and just men in general help become what they're supposed to be in society. What, reclaim that manly birthright of actually becoming a man and doing what you need to do out there as a man. And you know what? And so my tip of the hat goes to you, dude, for sticking with it and persevering and, just keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you, man.
There you go. No, it's all
Thank
good,
you.
dude.
My tip of the hat would have to be Gary.
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna Gary. I was gonna mention Gary earlier. I did my grandpa.
I was gonna change it up if you said Gary. I knew
You're late. You already said yours, bit.
To me, Gary has been the brother I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's take Freemason away from that. He's the guy I can actually call and be like, hey, I'm dealing with this. And just talk to him. Him and I have had some crazy conversations. And I've been there for him through thick and thin. He's a bro for me. And he's taught me a lot of how to work a show, how to be a man, how to do construction, all these things that I've known him for almost 8 years. And he's the closest thing I got to a brother next to my other brothers. I don't talk too much, but it's like I could go to his place right now and just be like, hey, I'm dealing with this. And he would just listen. He would call me a fucking idiot, but he would listen. And it's just when he heard my struggles, which next week we'll get into that more. But when he heard my struggles, he's all like, he even told me after he gave me the jerseys, the baseball jerseys and the NFL jerseys. He's like, dude, I was pissed. And we ended up talking for like a couple hours. He is a guy who taught me a lot, even though he's not that much older than me. He taught me a lot of what it is to be a man. And it's a lot of the show has to go to him because it's like, dude, he taught me a lot of things and this is where I came from. And he's a cool dude. He drives me nuts half the time, but you know what? I love him as a brother. On that note, everyone, I want to thank everyone who's here. Jason, first time being here. I hope I popped.
Me too.
And Rod just jumped out of the
this fire. No, we have a fire.
Oh,
so
shoot.
it's probably gonna be okay.
See, with Canadian Spider-Man, you never know what you're gonna get. A deer heart or fire. Who knows?
Rod, just put a blanket over it. Just put a blanket.
Just start peeing over it.
Is the cat okay?
Yeah, fuck the cat.
No, the cat started the fire.
Oh,
why did you teach that as a liar? That was the dumbest thing you could have taught your cat to do.
Rod's all like, yes, I did. I'm very
it's
proud
a
of
fire starter. Precious fire starter.
Oh,
but I want to thank
I'm
Tyler. I want to thank Tyler, Jason, Tom, even though you look like fucking Michael Moore.
What is money?
I know, right? You're gonna go to cosplay, you'll be like, hey, I'm like, ha, I know you, motherfucker, and watch it actually be Michael Moore. And I'm like, oh, you're just some fake one. I want to thank Mike, Canadian Spider-Man, Rod, for being on here. This has been a fun episode. I actually did get a lot of venting out. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
It felt good. It felt good.
Invite.
When you vent out, like, guys, do you agree? When you finally vent out a little things, you feel like, oh, I feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, hell
it
yeah.
feels good, man. This, I will say this right now, for the next few shows, even though I do Lego Build and Men of God, there won't be, I know I pushed this a few weeks, in 2 weeks, not this week, but next weekend, there will be a Man of God podcast and a Legal Build podcast. Just because I have something going on at the Masonic Lodge, so I have to do that. I see your face there, Mike.
Stupid
Stop
train.
flipping Thomas the Trank off. All right, Jesus.
Fine.
Not my trains. Train time.
Michael Moore, make a documentary. No. Next week we're going to talk about something very important. Since it's June Men's Health Awareness, we're going to talk about depression. And we're going to talk about how men should handle it, how all that stuff. Kind of similar to venting, but no more deeper conversation. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I say fun with depression. I don't know how fun it's going to be, but it's going to be interesting.
No,
but,
we're gonna do a lot of heavy drugs. It's gonna be awesome.
All I know is you're gonna smoke a bunch of weed and just
good idea.
mushrooms. You're like, I'm good, guys. Listen, let me tell you, I look like Rick Moranis.
Mushrooms are medicine.
Yeah, man.
Never tried yet.
It is, but I'll say this right now, Canadian Spider-Man, you can't roast for jack shit.
No, I heard you. Okay, I watched your stream and I didn't comment on that stream, but I heard what you had to say. Okay, and
what stream?
I can't roast for shit. I cannot roast for shit. You're right. I'm too nice. I'm Canadian. Hey, I'm
we're Canadian there. Hey, we can't.
You were almost there. You were almost there. You
I
just
can
asked
barbecue.
a question.
Man,
I can barbecue.
See, Ryan could roast me easily.
You roasted the wrong guy. I fucking swear you right now. You roasted the wrong fucking guy.
See, Canadian Spider-Man. Like, I know Rod, all Rod has to do.
And I will fucking roast you harder than you fucking roasted me, brother.
There you go.
Damn, Rick.
I love y'all. Rod scares me. Rod really scares me.
Hey, and Mike, we're coming for you tomorrow, Mike. We're coming for you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah. There we go.
We know where you are now. Oh, yeah.
On that note, I want to thank everyone who's a part of this show. You guys made this a lot of fun, and it's a lot of learning. What I have to say is, guys, if you want to learn how to be men, you don't have to watch this show. You can find other things, but if you want to learn from 7, 8, however many people that you know that are on this panel, just to be men, man, this is the place. On that note, I like to give it a send-off to...
And we say bye-bye.
On that note, thank you very much, guys. You guys have a good week. I'll see you guys next week.
You too, brother.